Hi, Coach Bruce again with one final video on our 8-on-8 or 8v8 strategy and tactics for the year. This final one's about stoppage situation plays or set pieces. And a set piece or a stoppage situation play is any time when the ball stops and is then put back into play with a kick or a throw or rolling the ball. And we're going to add into this, on top of the traditional set play discussion, we're going to add throw-ins, we're going to add goalie saves, because essentially our approach to them is all going to be the same. Whenever the ball comes off of the ground or leaves the field of play, we're going to have the same approach or same strategy or strategic approach to getting the ball back into play. And so the six types that we're going to go over very briefly, because they're very similar to the way that we're going to do all of these plays, are goal kicks, goalie saves, corner kicks, free kicks, throw-ins, and kickoffs. We're going to cover each one of those very briefly here. So before we get into each one of those, let's talk about some general rules. On a goal kick, that's when the ball goes over the end line and then we have the ball. Our goalie then can kick the ball, or we kick the ball from the goalie box. Either the goalie or the back defender, which is our middle back defender, will take the goal kicks. We'll talk about that in practice about when we decide who does that, but one of those two will always take that kick. On a goalie save, the goalie obviously is the one who has the ball, is going to run up to the front of the box. We want to make sure that our first option is to roll the ball forward. We'll actually work on rolling the ball and throwing the ball, because kicking the ball, punting the ball is a little bit still at this level not the most reliable thing that we can do. And if we run the ball up quickly and throw or roll it, we'll have better results. Corner kicks, free kicks, and throw-ins. All of those are managed in almost every case, and I'll ask probably at the beginning in every case, by the midfielder or the center forward. The other players play roles in those plays, but they're not the ones throwing the ball in or taking the free kick or taking the corner kick. So one of those two players will always be the ones that are taking the ball out of a sideline position and throwing it in, or taking a free kick or executing a corner. And then finally on kickoffs, the midfielder and the center forward always touch the ball at kickoff. They'll be together in the middle of the field, and we'll talk about that more when we go over kickoffs in just a second. But just to know who does what, refer back to these initial slides. So let's get into the first situation, or actually talk briefly before the first situation about what we're going to do. We have 3 plays for each one of those 6 stoppage or set pieces, and those are A, B, and C. A is aggressively going forward, B is going to the side, it's more conservative, and C is to play the ball backwards. And what we got to in our previous season with this team was that the girls at the end in the middle of the season really understood and were yelling out to each other, A play, B play, C play, and they would react correspondingly, and the other team really doesn't know us well enough to pick up on that. So it was very effective to kind of give secret signals during the course of play without the coach having to tell you what to do. So rule of thumb at stoppage, it's better to have a safe short pass than to try long and turn the ball over. Very important, especially on goal kicks and other stoppage plays on our half of the field, on our defending half of the field. And if you're out there and your teammate doesn't have a B option, it's your job to give them a B option, which is, again, the side pass. So let's give some examples here of how that works. Let's talk about goal kicks. Let's take a look at an example here where the ball's gone over the end line, and now we have a kick, and the goalie has placed the ball on the inside the smaller box, in the goalie box there, and is going to take a kick forward. What is our ABC approach? Well, our A is, again, a longer kick forward. B is a safe kick, a short kick to the side, to the near side. C is going all the way across the field. Now let's talk about this for a second. First and foremost, never, as you can see, we're not kicking the ball up the middle of the field. A lot of the goals in our league will come from goalies or others taking goal kicks and other types of stoppages and kicking them right up the middle of the field where they're intercepted and they come back for a shot on goal. So we're always working to the sides when we're this far back. If we go with the C play, you can see that that's a long kick across the penalty box. That has to be absolutely wide open for that to work. So we don't look for that very often. We're really looking for A and B in most cases. and it is the goal of the defender that's at the far left bottom here, that side defender, to get back and make it the easiest pass possible. It should be a very short pass if it's a B play. A goalie save is very similar. So if we went back to when there's a goal kick, again the ball goes over the end line and the goalie's taking the piece there, and our players align in this way. If the goalie makes a save and runs the ball to the front of the box, essentially everyone's just moving up a bit. It's pretty much the same play, and you can see we have an A, a B, and a C. And the same rules apply. We're going A forward as far as we can, B to the side is a little more conservative. C, really a safer play than throwing or kicking the ball across that dangerous area after a save, is to run the ball to the other side and run an ABC from the other side. And the goalie can do that. The goalie can run to the top of the box on the bottom half of the screen here and then run all the way to the other side. Goalie has 6 seconds to do this, but that's really closer to 10 seconds, not a big problem. And there's plenty of time to make a decision and to find somebody who's open. Okay? So again, like we said in previous, we want to roll first and throw before kicking. Kicking is more risky than the other two, and if we can roll or throw the ball first, we're going to do that. Let's talk about corner kicks. So now we're on the other side of the field, and we have the ball, and the ball's gone over the end line, and the defense was the last to touch it. So we get a corner kick, and there's a set piece. The ball's placed in the corner, and in this case, our center forward is going to kick it forward. We have an A, B, and C, and remember, A is aggressive, so it's going to the middle of the field, right into the box. B is a little more sideways, so we're going to the top of the box, but on the near post. And C is back to that side defender. You can see our side defenders come all the way up to support the corner kick. So as we said earlier, this is probably one of the few cases where our side defenders are really playing offensive roles. They're moving up and they're involved in the offensive play because we have a set piece very deep in the other team's territory. Other than that, side defenders really don't play a great role in offense with with a lot of frequency. Okay. Free kicks, again, play stops because of offsides, because of a foul, some other reason, and we have a free kick in the middle of the field. So again, we're going left to right here, and you can see our midfielder is going to take a free kick right near the midfield point, and she has 3 opportunities. She can go forward long, she can go side to a midfielder, and she can go back to a side defender. So those 3 options work fine. If you go back, you can actually move to the other side of the ball and kick the ball backwards. You don't see that a lot in our league, but there's no reason why on a free kick you can't line up on the other side of the ball and quickly move it backwards. Normally when we push it back on a C play, it's to push the ball forward immediately, quickly the other way. So you're rolling the ball back to your player at C who immediately just boots it forward down the side. Right? And a final note on free kicks is that if we're taking a free kick on our defensive half of the field, our side play, our B play, is not to the middle of the field. It's toward the sidelines. We don't kick the ball toward the middle of the field on our defensive side. We just don't do that. Throw-ins are very similar. Again, here's our midfielder. She has the ball. She needs to throw it in. A throw-in is two-handed throw with 2 feet on the ground. Otherwise, you're going to lose the ball and the other team will get it. And she has 3 opportunities, A, B, and C. So in this case, our B play is our center forward runs back to play that middle, sideways play, and she can throw forward, she can throw backwards. If there's nothing open, always the safe play is just to throw it up A. Throw it up the sideline. In many cases, the defense will knock it out of bounds and we'll get another chance. So if you can't find someone open on a throw-in, throw the ball up the A play, up the sideline, and hope for the best. And the final one is kickoffs. And kickoffs is at the beginning of the game or after a goal is scored against us, or if we have possession of the ball at the beginning of the second half. So in that case, we're allowed to have more than one player in the circle when you're on offense. Defense has to stay outside the circle. But offense, when you have a kickoff situation, you can have two. We will always have a midfielder and a center forward in the middle on offense. The first play in a kickoff is always going to be a tiny pass forward. So the midfielder will pass the ball 1 foot to the center forward or vice versa, at which point we have 3 plays. The person who's receiving that pass can either A, go long, pass it long to one of our wings, pass it sideways to one of the wings, or they can actually just kick it back to the back defender who steps up in the kickoff, who then probably just boots it forward. Again, sometimes it's easier to go backwards than to go forward. I think what we're going to do more likely, though, is what we've put in here is D, which is just to dribble the ball. After that first tiny pass forward, you can then dribble. You can't dribble if you haven't received a pass off of the kickoff, but once you receive even the tiniest little pass, you can dribble the ball as well. So we have A, B, and D are our most likely ones for kickoffs. So those are our different stoppage situation plays. We'll go over those in practice. We'll go over a couple, every week. And during the course of the season, you'll learn more intuitively of how to use A, B, and C on the field and tell your teammates where you want them to be and what support you need to make these plays successful for us. So I'm Coach Bruce. That's it, and I will see you at practice.